There we go. We're there.
Oh, it always
Back.
comes up with this bloody box on my screen going, this meeting is being recorded, and then it won't disappear. I'm like, I know. Right.
Oh, I don't have that. So that's good confirmation that it is being recorded.
It is being recorded. You've done your job. Congratulations.
Perfect. So we've got no shows this weekend, but we did get from you three listeners, because that's what's carried this podcast through to us today. Because we could have easily said no, but because you asked questions, we do have, and because you asked multiple questions, we're here. So we are committed to you.
We are. So, well done. If all my anonymous questions came from the same person, you did well. Um, but yes, we are gathered here today because enough questions were asked.
Yeah, so we still made it. And then it'll be next week will be the two bros because we've got two bros this weekend. So with limited coverage, but we'll still have a show, which is great. So do you want to start?
Yes. Let me get them. Okay, so first question I had was, do you think it's okay to send a physique review if I have a coach who I trust? I'm just not sure how it would come across to them if they saw it. Do you want me to start or do
Yeah,
you go? You want me to go?
yeah.
And this is me speaking as a coach. If one of my clients got feedback from someone else who is it's public advice. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't agree with poaching in a sense of other coaches sliding into people's DMs to give unsolicited advice or compliments that they want to say isn't poaching, but we all know is poaching, right? I don't agree with that, right? But what we do is in a public forum and it's more for education purposes than it is for anything else. So it's just to not only give you a sense of like what we think you could be doing better to improve or answer whatever specific questions that you have about your journey. It helps other people to understand what the judges might be looking for, what the category criteria represents, and how any coach will be assessing their clients to make sure that they're competitive when it comes to stage. So, I would probably be offended as a coach if one of my clients went behind my back in private to seek advice from someone else, because that seems like it feels
Mm,
untoward. Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? It feels like it's shady.
Yeah, there's a
But
guilt towards it.
yeah, whereas like when you're in a public forum, it's information for everybody, not specific information between you
Yeah.
and one other person, if that makes sense. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, I think like ultimately like what you got to think what's your reasoning for wanting it? If you're just curious about someone else's opinion, just say to your coach, I absolutely respect your opinion and I trust you 100%, but these girls do it for education and fun ultimately. Everything should just be for fun. With the background that we've got, this is just our opinions at the end of the day. And then your coach will be like, yeah, I absolutely agree with what they're saying. That's why we're working on this. Or they might turn around and be like, don't agree with that because everyone's entitled to their opinion. But we are doing it based on the criteria, your physique, what we know. And as Jodie said, like if you just go to your coach and just say it, like I was thinking about this. I know if my client, it's even like with posing lessons, I give my girls posing sessions, but if they aren't living near me and they go, I would like, they live near Jodie, I want a posing session with her, I'd be like, absolutely, go to her, have an in person, and then let me know. I'm sure like even you would let me know what you said. And then it might be some things that we'll agree on, some things we don't. Like ultimately, you have your coach for a reason, but be open to other. If you are so narrow-minded as a coach that that's your only way, like you're never gonna learn other people's ways. That's how you grow. So yeah, I think like we do it.
And I think it's just important to stress that, like, when we're giving these physique critiques, as I like to call them, none of that is with the aim of trying to say that any coach isn't doing their job,
Yeah,
right? I've got to stress, like, that's the most
we
important
should
thing. What
hopefully all
we're
be on the same
ultimately
page.
doing, yeah, we're just ultimately offering some advice on things for everyone to be thinking about that could not only help you but help other people.
Yeah.
And it might even be things that your coach hasn't thought about. Do you know what I mean?
Especially if
Sometimes
you have
that
a
coach,
male coach, not to
I was going to say
stereotype.
the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you've got
Go on
male
then.
coach,
Yeah.
in a sense of there might be certain things that we know as women you are important, but male athletes might not have to do. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's all.
So yeah, I'd say it's completely up to you. If you want to do it, remember we do it because it's open. Like we're not hiding anything. So it is again not only for you based on what our experience is, but it's also for like other people. If they're unsure, they might have a similar physique or they want to go for a similar federation. It's the only reason it's there. The whole point of this podcast is to bring out awareness and spotlight for you girls that compete or for you girls looking to compete, understanding criteria, give our own opinions. We don't claim to be anyone but ourselves with our history and our background with it. So if you want to do it, send it in. We'll go over it, talk to your
I'd
coach.
say if you're worried, just mention it to your coach
Yeah.
first and just
Always
say,
message
I'd
the
like to
coach
get the
first.
girl's
Yeah.
opinion. Are you happy with this? And I think speaking on behalf of like the coaching community, like I've had plenty of coaches in the industry ask me for my opinion on their clients. Do you know what I mean? Like whether it's their posing or like from a judge's standpoint. And I think that any coach that's keen to learn or
Was
see
confident in themselves.
yes, exactly that. Nine times out of ten, I don't think they're gonna mind. We all seek each other's opinions on things anyway. So I think as long as you're open and honest and it doesn't catch them off guard or come as a surprise, then I think that's probably the best way to go about it. That means you're not going to be anxious about it and they're not going to be upset about it.
Yeah. Perfect. What did I have? So who are your favorite bikini athletes physique wise and overall energy?
Oh, this is so hard because there's so many. And there's like so many different like people that represent different federations and uh,
I'm gonna go straight to the top, and talk about Olympia, Arnold, things like that,
oh,
and talk
okay.
about
Yeah.
pros. Just because I don't know if they wanted amateurs or pros, but I say these are my favorite for different reasons. I love Maureen purely because she is little, like me. And I've never been, I am so much better now, but I've never been the most fluent and confident floaty poser. I am loads better now, and it's what I help so many girls with because I've done that journey. But watching her routines are what taught me to, or watching her routines made me learn a lot more about confidence, about flow, tempo, presentation, and like knowing that the last Olympia, how was it? The top six were all off as such, like none of them were 100%. And Maureen, as much as they're all at like 98%, so no one was there at 100. Maureen was a deciding factor because of her presentation. So I like that. I like what she brings to then use that as a driving force for myself to know that presentation matters, and that's why I drive it so much, not only in myself but into the girls. But I also like the fact that she's not as much as just being shredded is freaky and cool because I can get the striated delts. I like that she's fuller with prettier muscle because although we know that it's not a healthy, attainable physique,
Yeah.
it's a physique that just I love as a whole. Like, so as much as I won't look like that without being in a prep and things, I like that she's got that muscle fullness and the overall shape. So for me, that's a physique I like for the presentation and because of the muscle and the shape that she's got.
Yeah. Um, Probably easier for us to talk at that level because there's so many amateurs that
And I
I
wouldn't want to leave anyone out as an amateur.
no, and I think it's really easy to offend
Yeah.
people. But there's plenty of amateurs that I could talk about. So I'm gonna mention two for
Yeah.
because I think part of the question was about energy.
Yeah. Favorite physique, right? Yeah, and overall energy.
Okay, so I'm gonna mention two separate Olympians for, well, I mean, one of them I'm talking specifically about their energy, but my favorite is Jen Dory. Now,
Oh,
like the main reason is purely because like the first Olympia that I ever watched was in 2018. And she obviously competed then, or at least I think it was that year. If it wasn't that year, I was watching a YouTube from her having done another year. And I related to her because she had curly hair. Like, and I know that sounds really stupid because like I didn't really know what I was looking at back then, but I was like, oh, she's the curly girl, and she's
yeah.
oh, curly people do this too. So like I just connected with the fact that she had that the curly locks and but as the years have kind of gone on, the thing that I like about her the most is that I feel like she embodies the bikini category really well because you never really look at her and think, oh, she's freakishly lean or she's got dominant body areas or anything like that. She presents herself well. She's really well balanced. I feel like she sits very strongly in what the category criteria is for bikini,
Yeah,
which I always say this should just be distinctly average. Like
yeah.
there's no wow.
Women
I mean, they're
everywhere.
all
Yeah,
wow. Do you know what I mean? But like, there's nothing about her where you're like, she's got the biggest glutes
yeah.
on stage, or she's got the most shredded, freaky condition, or anything like that. Her physique is balanced. Her condition matches the level of her muscularity. I think she personally embodies what IFBB bikini
Mhm.
is. Um, and then in terms of energy, I've got to say Phoebe Hagen right now. Like the reason I say that isn't just because of how she presents herself on stage, which we all know that she has finesse and flair, and she's very controlled, but with creative expression, I would probably say is the best way to describe her. But I think for me, like Phoebe's one of those people that really drew me in because of how much she shares
Yeah,
her journey. And she's very mindset focused and she speaks well about whatever it is that she's talking about. She's very engaging, and I think that she makes bodybuilding relatable
yeah,
to people at any level. So if you don't necessarily, if you're not a diehard, you can watch her YouTubes and her content and feel like you kind of get it because she talks to people at every level
yeah,
and she's honest and she's, you know, if she's having a rough time, she'll share that. If she's going through the highs, she communicates that. Like you feel, obviously she is a friend of mine, but before she was a friend of mine, you feel like you know
yeah,
her, even if you don't know
yeah.
her. I
She
enjoy that about her.
Yeah, she's very good at like she's doing it because she loves it. Because when
Yes.
she didn't love it, she didn't force it. She just
Yes.
went elsewhere and she was open about that. And like ultimately, she's done her growth. She protects her own energy and it shows you it's good to do that and it's okay to do that. And just because you've like wanted to do something else for this moment of time, that's how you find that love again. And I always say it like over and over again. Like I am someone that can be probably 95% like I just thrive off bodybuilding, but
Yeah.
sometimes I need a break. So as much as do the post like I'm all in like now where I'm going through my health phase, I am trying to like reiterate you've got to back off. Like sometimes when you're in that phase, and that's what she was really good at when she went through that. Especially the pressure she has being, an Olympian, you'd think you have to be on all the time. You've got bodybuildings in your veins, and especially because she's got the posing portal and everything. But the fact that she can still keep her business, keep herself going, and do something else, and not be scared to do something else because of the pressure of changing and come back is a really respectful thing because you're like, yes, there's more to life than bodybuilding, but when you do it for the right reasons, you really do like glow up from it.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
But
really
yeah,
good.
they're the ones I'd probably
Oh, I also really like Jazzy's physique, just because again,
oh
I think she's like, just when you look at her proportions and her physique, I'm just like,
oh
how?
don't get like Jazzy's got one of those like I feel like she has a bit of a freak factor in her physique, right? And like she presents herself with such flair.
Yeah.
And like I always say this, like the bikini criteria is the bikini criteria. And like I said, I love Jen Dory for the fact that I feel like she embodies that. But I love a freaky physique as well. Like, and it's not necessarily because I think they fit the criteria. Because sometimes I look at these physiques and I'm like, that's not bikini, but I bloody love it. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are just these physiques sometimes that you see, and I'm like, wow, like she's unreal. But I can see why maybe that person isn't as competitive, but it doesn't mean I love it any less.
Yeah. It'd be exciting to see her come back because I think she's definitely improved. But yeah, I think they're like, yeah, without talking about amateurs, you look at like Olympians, what do they bring and their physique and their energy and everything. And yeah, that's what it needs to be. But yeah, your turn.
My turn. I don't know why I closed down the app for. Clearly, I was done. Um, this person said, I'd love to hear a bit more about your guys' updates currently. How are your journeys going?
Yours is going great. You look amazing.
Oh,
Let's
honestly,
do your trumpet for a minute because you get the props. You're doing really well.
no, genuinely, I'm really happy. Like, and we talked a little bit about it before we got on the podcast, but like it's my last year of my 30s this year. So everyone seems to think I'm doing this secret prep. Like honestly, guys, I'm not doing a secret prep. I think it doesn't help that the fact that the goal that I'm working towards, which is a photo shoot, is the week before British
Yeah.
finals. Everyone thinks that I'm jumping into British finals, and I promise you can ask Black Ice. I have not booked a bikini or anything because I have absolutely zero intention of getting on stage. Um, and it's purely just because I don't want to feel restrained
Yeah.
to the commitment of a prep. Like, I want to be able to eat cake on my birthday and go for dinner and like not feel uh boxed in on something. I just wanted this year to be for me. Um, and so, I made loads of changes to my life. I moved, all of that. Part of the changes that I made were hiring a new coach, which ended up being Jace. And he's we're working towards me being lean so I can document my 40-year-old body and be like, look, kids, this is what I looked like when I was 40. And I've got a few photo shoots booked. I've got one with AK next month. And then I've got the main one with Jodie Wright, which is the one before British finals. And then I've got one booked with Liz as well. And the aim is to get near stage lean. I don't necessarily want to be actually stage lean. And because I'm not under pressure to look a certain way for a photo shoot, it's kind of one of them where it's like we do what we can and I don't feel the stress of having to commit to looking a certain way. But it's been going really well. And I think my physique looks the best that it's looked in a really long time. And I've been really happy about that. And I think that a lot of that is actually less stress in my life. And also, credit where it's due to Jace. Like, I think my body responds really well to his methods in a sense of he does favor or has favored with me. I know his approach will be tailored to different people, but like higher cardio output, which leans towards what I wanted for myself. I want to be fitter. I've been doing things like boxing and stuff like that on the side, which I'm really enjoying. But I want to be fitter. And so, having a higher cardio output in this prep has worked well towards that goal, whilst also working in the direction that I want to go for aesthetics. Um, and actually, like having a more whole food based diet, I think my body's quite liked that. Like my midsection has, apart from when I had the digestive issue where I had some kind of gastroenteritis, I don't know what the hell went on there. But my ratios just look better and my legs look better developed and my shape just looks good and I feel good. Um, so yeah, I know I've rambled a little bit there, but like I'm at a point where I'm kind of enjoying the process. And what my physique is looking like. I'm excited to see what it looks like at the end, but I think I've definitely been in a forward thinking mindset, which is really good in the sense of I'm like, if it looks like what it does now, I'm excited to build on it
Yeah.
beyond what I'm working on right now. But yeah, the plan is just to do a few photo shoots, celebrate my 40th, have a stress-free year as much as possible, and just ride the high of enjoying how things are and the direction that I'm heading in. And yeah, just
Exciting.
oh, and also like I've got a few clients on stage at the back end of this year. Another reason why I'm kind of not keen to get on stage myself because I want to make sure that they get my full attention. But yeah, I've got a few people competing this next part of the year. So I'll see you guys at the shows.
Yeah, yeah, I'll be at shows, so it'll be exciting to see you. So I am still recovering, so I'm still focusing on my hormonal health. So basically, like just being female, especially if you're I think there's a stigma that when you're assisted, you're on gear all the time. You're really not. But when you are going as a female back to back preps, although my preps have always like they've just got better and better. I fucking loved my last prep. Like I could have just carried on if it wasn't for like the fact I lost my menstrual cycle and I know the goal is I needed to change my body composition and grow. Generally, food was in a good spot. I wasn't doing any cardio. I could have just carried on. I was in a great spot. But obviously you have to recover, and my cycle just has taken a little while to come back. And that was just due to the fact that I prepped last year. And when it started coming back, I was then back into a bit of a tidy up phase. So then as soon as I've noticed a trend that as soon as I start prep, I lose my cycle. But last time I didn't give myself enough time to regain it long enough. And that's something that I'll always say to my girls, have your cycle for as long, if not longer, before you go into a prep again. But I actively chose to put myself into a deficit because Matt was, and I was like, let's just see, because I thought everyone was in a good spot. And I did have it, and then I just lost it. So again, you've just got to be sensible with it. As much as I could mentally prep again, I could so do it. I'm so buzzed to do it again. I know I shouldn't. I need that cycle back. So that's my body telling me just hold your horses. And I think that's a big factor that you need to know. It might be a little bit, you still need to with males, but big factor as females is the risk to reward and then also the longevity with it. So as much as I probably could go back into a prep again, and my body would probably respond out externally and I could look fine.
Yeah,
Internally, there's something not syncing. So we've got to remember you do this for a hobby. Like 99% of us do this as a bloody hobby. I don't want to be 40 with osteoporosis because I've neglected a cycle. So
yeah,
that's your tips for everyone. Might take a couple months, ride with it, sit with it. And if that's the case, my plan was to go early next year because I feel like I've got unfinished business at Arnold's in the sense next time we're going to go like a week in advance, not like 2 days out and cross a Canadian border and then carb load. So I feel like,
beautiful.
yeah, I got unfinished business there, but the stage was going to be there. Again, if I don't get my cycle back like tomorrow, realistically, I even if I got it back, I need to have it long enough before I think about a prep again because otherwise I'm just fucking myself up for a fucking hobby. So I think I've accepted that I won't be competing next year, which is very sad because I love it. But I have so many girls competing next year. It is crazy. So
Yeah.
it might be a blessing in disguise. So right now, I am just, as I call it, I am just a muggle, just lifting my weights and just taking my blood, let my body recover, and just enjoying what it is really. So unfortunately, there isn't anything exciting physically going on with me. But I do practice what I preach when it comes to just look after yourself. As I said, it's a
Yeah.
hobby as much as everything's gone swimmingly. And I do think that if I was to put myself in it again, I would actually respond externally fine.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have made the results I wanted to make because I haven't had an active build. I've just been gaining fat to recover my hormones. So it's been 3 months now. So it's not uncommon that it takes 2 or 3 months to bring your cycle back. It's just again being bodybuilders, we're just incredibly impatient. So Yeah, just give my body a bit of a break. So this is your sign. If you are a couple months post show, as long as you are in a surplus, which I am, as long as you are eating your fats and controlling your stress and your sleep, because so many people get so stressed that their cycle isn't coming back, but they're trying to survive off 5 hours sleep, and then they're too scared to gain weight. And like you ask so much of your body to get lean. How are you going to expect it to keep responding? Like I do think my body's responded because I've
Exactly.
always looked after it. So I feel like I'm pushing it into the edge if I asked it to do another prep. I'm like tempting fate. So yeah, no, there and a big thing as well that I'm always so big on is we put so much pressure on ourselves because we don't look like bodybuilders because we're not our leaner self. If you're doing it right, especially because we're not pros and we're not the genetic elite different, but 90% of us are not pros or genetic elites and like Olympians. You're not going to look like a bodybuilder 90% of your journey if you're doing it right. Because if you want to survive and keep doing this for years and years, like accept like life and growing and eating.
I had this conversation with a few of my clients, to be fair, where I'm like, look, if you want to look in shape year round, there is absolutely no problem with that. But bodybuilding is not for you. And the reason I say that is because you cannot expect to make improvements by staying the same. Like, like I said, if you just want to keep a body that looks ripped, that's fine, but don't expect it to get better. Like,
Have to grow that muscle in the first place to look ripped.
yeah, well, at the end of the day, it's body building, right? We do a prep as part of the body building process. The clue is in the word, right? It's all about building. You have to build the muscle. So, in order to have enough muscle to reveal when it comes to prep, you have to spend enough time in a calorie surplus, developing the physique. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean you have to turn into a slob or look like a potato, right? But there has to be some acceptance that in order to grow and improve, you need to be in the right environment for your body to do that. And a calorie surplus is going to be the right environment to make that happen, even if it's a small one. Okay. And with any amount of calorie surplus, you're going to see a small amount of residual body fat gain with that. But you can't be a bodybuilder and look exactly how you want to look all year round. Like you don't even look exactly how you want to look the whole way through a prep. Like people glamorize prep
Yeah.
and go, oh, but I want to be lean again. It's like you were probably only your happy space of lean for about a week or two in that whole prep. If you want to hold on to just looking sick year round, that is absolutely fine. But just that's the physique that you have to accept for the rest of your life. And if you've got goals to grow your glutes or grow your biceps or whatever it is that you've got, you can't do that by holding on to
Yeah.
one.
First thing, you are not fat, you have fat. As females, we
Exactly. I
need
say
to have
this all
fat.
the time.
You need to have fat, like as a functioning human. You have fat. You are not like that's difference. Secondly, if you so many girls that lose their cycle, I've heard it time and time again where they go, "Oh, well, it's annoying anyway." Yeah, it's annoying, but it's a basic human function. And also,
Yeah.
if you don't have your cycle, you don't have your estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Like, let's just move estrogen and progesterone because obviously they fluctuate. We get bloated. I get it, but they show that you're functioning. But testosterone, even cling on to that. If you don't have a normal cycle and if your testosterone levels are absolutely in the bin, even as a natural or assisted, you need to have functioning testosterone. Testosterone is, we know libido and all that kind of energy, but testosterone is going to be what builds your muscle and also what helps you recover. Why do you think guys blast a shit ton of it? Like, so if you don't have a cycle and your hormones are in the bin, and that includes your testosterone, but you're fully growing and you're glad you don't have a cycle because your food's really high, you're doing yourself a disservice as naturally as possible as a female by having your testosterone in the bin because
I see so many posts about that now, and I'm like, please,
yeah,
please, ladies, do not glamorize not having a period because you're basically saying you're happy that you're unhealthy.
your
And
body
it's
doesn't
like
work.
that's not okay. Like as inconvenient as a bleed is, it's a blessing if it means you're healthy.
Bleeding body is a happy body. So, right. Let's go. I think there was one similar to this. Um, no, there wasn't. What do you
No.
both, this is kind of similar. What do you both enjoy doing outside of the gym, hobbies, etc.? Oh, you box.
I box, I do. So I mean, technically it's in the gym, but it's not the same thing. So
Separate.
I've just started boxing, so I don't have a clue what I'm doing. I just
You're
hit
really good
pads.
though.
I
I've
know.
tried it. I've tried it twice and I have zero hand-eye coordination. Again, this is why I do feel like I can help so many girls with posing because I cannot like my brain does not tell my body what to do. So I tried it and my body wouldn't move as quick as my brain was telling it to and I got annoyed. Like I just couldn't do my left, right fast and I was like I'm not no, can't do it. I tried it, tried to do it twice. I was like first time fine, second time it's not for me because I'm getting annoyed at myself. And like it wasn't something I actually enjoyed that I thought it'd be good for my reflexes, but it wasn't.
No,
But you're
it's
really good.
I thank you. I do enjoy like I wanted to I've always been very, very active. So like, obviously me turning my hand to bodybuilding doesn't surprise me in the slightest. But um I just wanted to learn a new skill that would I have no intention of doing this competitively. Like people keep asking me this, and I'm like, look, like you can actually exercise and not need to compete. Like I have no intention of being smacked in the face by someone. Like that's not that's not what I want to do. And we've also learned, me and my box coach Jordan, that I don't necessarily have that fight in me. Like if ever I get close to his face, I'm terrified. The thought of punching someone in the face. So I might not have that fight in me, but I just I wanna learn the skill well enough that I could do a fight if I wanted to. But I
Mm,
have no intention to. But yeah, I just wanted to do something that will help with my fitness because I hate cardio, but I love sport.
yep.
So obviously boxing's really, really good for cardio output. So yeah, at the moment I'm just doing it once a week. I really like that. But other things, like I'm a proper gamer geek. Like a lot of people probably don't know about that. But I like because I love anime and like Pokemon is like my, my thing. So like I love just sitting and playing Pokemon on my Nintendo. And I love music. So yeah, I can sit and listen to R&B for hours. But yeah, I would say outside of the gym, my passions are boxing, music, gaming, and food.
I
When I'm
relate
allowed
to food.
it. M&S bakery section.
M&S aisles.
Just M&S in it. Like it's a bit crazy, but I do love it. And they've
Mm.
got to stop bringing out new stuff because I saw that they've brought out an 85% dark chocolate ice cream now, and I'm like, I really want to try that.
That sounds all right to be fair.
I
Um,
love dark chocolate, especially 85%. So I almost bought some the other day, and I was like, no, you can wait. But just an FYI, everybody, in September, the white chocolate and gingerbread cookies are coming back.
oh, I had the white chocolate and raspberry the other day and they were good.
They are good, but the white chocolate gingerbread ones are elite. I'm hoping that they bring back the peppermint ones because I loved those last year.
Yeah.
The peppermint bark ones, they were so good, but they were a bit kind of Marmite. People either love them or hate them, but I love choc mint.
I just like food.
I just
Uh,
don't like choc orange. Chocolate orange is not my vibe.
oh no, I do like chocolate orange as long as it's done right. But yeah, I do
I like
like
chocolate, dark chocolate orange, but I'm not a Terry's girl.
I don't think there's actually a chocolate I don't like. So bad. Right, is it your go or mine?
Mine.
Okay.
No, you didn't talk about what you like
Oh,
to
I
do
like
outside of the
to
gym. This
B&M.
can't all be about me.
I go to B&M and Home Bargains and spend all my money.
Harry.
That's my hobby. Yeah. No, I do you know what? I we were saying this the other day because Matt does golf. I have,
See.
yeah, he's got back into that. He's done it on and
Cool.
off for quite a while, but he's got back into it again. So he'll do like golf and PlayStation.
Hmm.
Um, and then I was thinking, what do I do? And I have been for the past like couple of months really loving my stretching, just so how it makes me feel to like be putting back into myself. And I do like reading quite a lot, which is so lame, but like mindset books. So I love a mindset book. And then because I was thinking about doing something else. So started pole fitness when we lived in Plymouth.
Oh,
And I
sick.
did really love it. But I'm really picky about timings to go to things. So if it's after 5 or 6 o'clock, I'm out. Like
Yeah.
my evenings, I don't leave the house. And it's very rare to find a club that you can do something that's like the day or something. So then I was looking into like yoga, reformer, all of that kind of stuff. But then I was like, 40 quid to do some stretching. I can kind of do that at home. So I did start looking into adult gymnastics. But
Okay.
there's only two classes kind of in the half an hour vicinity of where I live. And they are late. Adults are up late. So like my bedtime's
Are
like I
we? I feel it's like 9 p.m. is like my bedtime.
yeah. So like I go to bed, I aim to go upstairs at like quarter past, 8:30, and I aim to be asleep by 9. Because I'm a morning person. But these adult classes, one was on a Monday and it was between 8:30 and 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, who is awake that late? And then the other one
We doing
was
backflips and
from
shit. Like what the
the other one was 7 till 9 o'clock. So I was just like, one was a Wednesday and one was a Monday. And I was like, I can't function at that time. So then I tried to have a look at like private sessions, but they're like 50 quid for private sessions. And I'm like, I'd love to get back into gymnastics again for flexibility because I just want to be I want to, as I get older, I want to keep looking after myself. So this isn't just for, I'm all for flexibility with posing,
Yeah.
but I want to know that as I'm getting older, I'm looking after myself. So I thought gymnastics would be such a good thing, because I quite like that, but that put that right down the shitter.
You know,
So,
one thing I love to get into if I can find like a club for it, like I'd love to learn Tai Chi.
oh yeah, that'd be quite good.
I had a couple of lessons and then the club that I went to burnt down. That wasn't because of me. Um, so yeah, maybe that's in my future, but no. I hear what I guess I brought that up because what you were saying about like looking after your body and longevity and all of that, like it feels very peaceful and centering.
Yeah. But yeah, your turn, my turn, your
My
turn.
turn. The one that I've got next is like a big three in one kind of vibe. So let me get it up. Okay. So I'll ask one and then we'll answer because they're quite different topics. So,
Right.
person said, please could you guys cover with a thank you at the end? First point is styling. So I'm assuming they mean for stage, like jewelry,
Yeah.
hair, all of that. So I guess when it comes to styling, and I'll include like bikini choices in there as well, because I think there's something to be said about that, because that's the whole look. Ladies, please do not agonize over accessories. Okay, like honestly, the questions that I get about whether or not shoes should have crystals on them or what bracelets you should wear, should it be z cubic zirconia or AB crystals? Like
Rows
if
or
the
four
judges
rows?
if the judges are looking at that, you probably got a problem. Because, like, genuinely, they're not looking at your shoes, they're not looking at your bracelets. Georgia has told us before she doesn't even wear earrings, right? So I always say that as long as you feel good wearing them and it complements the look, then go for whatever. Like when it comes to um choosing a bikini color, for example, if you're a first timer, what the advice Black Ice would typically give. And I don't know if Sammy's the same, you'll have to say, but Black Ice will normally say for your first bikini, pick a color that you wear a lot because you're confident in it, or your favorite color. Like, don't overthink does blue go well with blondes or any of that? Don't overthink it. Just pick a color that you know you'll feel good in, because that way you're not going to regret it and you're not going to be worrying about that when you go on stage. Um, but makeup, keep it subtle and complimentary. When I say subtle and complimentary, it'll always be heavier than you're probably comfortable with, because stage makeup has to be a bit heavier because of the bright lights and all of that. But you don't need to be having crazy eyeshadows that match your bikini color and all of this. Like it doesn't, you just want to have a suitable glam look that you're, again, comfortable with, something that feels good on you. And then hair, I think, can depend on federation. PCA are a lot more liberal when it comes to how you can have your hair. But NPC, if you are bikini or wellness or fit model, absolutely should be down and covering the back. Like I said, for PCA, you'll see people wearing like long ponytails or samurai style, half up, half down, all of this kind of look, and that's all okay. But NPC lean more towards a natural look, and because the back isn't judged, they prefer to that for that to be covered with the hair. I've rambled a lot. Have I missed anything?
No, I agree. So bikini, I always say like, what color are you drawn to? What would you wear on a night out? What are you happy wearing? Just go with that. Hair, what again? What makes you? What would you wear on a night out? And how would you want to style it? Like I know NPC, it's far more common in like a two rows regional that most people would have straight hair. I know for me, I feel a bit better. I look like I have a flat pea head if I have straight hair. So I will always curl my hair. If you have straight hair, yes, there is that standard in NPC to have it long, but you can't have it too long. Don't have it hiding your glutes. Like one of my girls, she has it and it literally goes over her glutes. And I said, like, you either need to cut it because that's her extensions, which obviously someone do, or you need to curl it to fuck so it loses height. And
They
that's what,
say about an inch above the
yeah.
top of your glute
Even
when you're in the back pose.
yeah, even in NPC, if you have it straight, have it in a youth shape because that helps your physique, like little things like that. But PCA freedom. Now, I think people, again, with the jewelry, I wear one small bracelet on each side because that's my brain with balance. I used to wear a ring. I don't anymore. I just wear my wedding ring and that's literally it. I don't bother with any other rings. My bloody nails are stuck on. Like my toenails, I've gone on stage without painted toenails before.
I don't do my
They're
toes because
big.
but I've got missing big toenails because of
Got
like
missing little
sport.
toenails because my toenails are so little. But yeah, so
So
like sometimes I've just waxed whatever on, and sometimes I haven't painted them at all. Like again, if they're looking at your feet, like do it because it makes you feel good. Don't do it because you feel like you have to. I know loads of girls will do like £1 nails from Primark. Um, and
genuinely though, from speaking from the judge's angle, they can't even see your feet.
uh,
They stand like typically that close that they can see like from your shins upwards. Like it's very rare they can actually see your feet.
it's again what you said. It's what you feel good in. If sparkly heels make you feel good, if plain heels make you feel good, if strapless or non-strapless, if you get strapless and you're like, holy shit, I need straps, but I can't afford new shoes. You will be able to see on a lot of my photos, I always have strapless heels. And I think this year I only put my straps on a couple times because I mainly forgot because I can post strapless. But for security reasons, all my previous seasons, I always had strapless shoes and I bought the straps and I stuck them on for show days just to feel secure. So
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong. The only time there is a right or wrong is if you are doing PCA and you're doing a two bros and you are in bikini, you
Yes.
need to have connector
Necklace.
bottoms for your NPC, but you do not need to for PCA. Now, I am someone that likes a full bottom. I don't like connectors personally. I think that comes from my overweight days when you're a bit chunky and then you put the connectors on or and tie in on and then it just sucks straight into your fat. So I like a thick band normally. But if you're wanting one bikini and you're doing multiple federations and you are going to do both, then know that you have to get connectors if you're wanting to do two bros. And then it's the same with like fit model. Obviously, we've established this before. You can have whatever you want for PCA, the standard fit model or the coverage, full coverage diamantes, but you have to have a plain fit model bikini for NPC. But otherwise, do you like the jewelry? If you look on Compact's website, they talk about things like earrings. So if you have a longer neck, if you have curly hair, if you have straight hair, that's when it's going to get more precise with what earrings should I get? And maybe like what rings do you like the look of, or do you not like any rings? You don't have to wear rings. So look on the Compact site for like things that are more specific. But if you are a first timer as well, just go with what makes you feel confident on stage. Because as I said,
Yeah.
I've worn clip-ons before, fucking hated it. It wasn't me, and I've never worn them again.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Um, Genuinely, I've never been pulled up for anything like that. Um, I think the only styling thing that I ever got pulled up on was NPC. Um, when I did my first show and I had blonde curly hair and I wore it in a top knot. And they basically, in no uncertain terms, said, style yourself like girls that look like you. I was like, oh, you mean dark hair and have it all down. Okay, cool. Uh,
Uh,
do you want me to go into the next bit or do you want to go
oh
next?
yeah, you had a few. Yeah, you
Yeah,
go.
so there's two more parts to this question. The next part was prepping and realizing that you have less muscle than you thought as a first timer. And I think we'll both say the same thing that for the most part, when it comes to first timers, is the common theme. Like I think that unless you're someone that's been training like a bodybuilder for years before you step on stage as a first timer, and we are seeing more of those kinds of people come through. However, I would still say that they are the exception, not the rule. Obviously, it will seem like there's lots of them because when they turn up, they're the ones that are going to win, right? But you've got to remember that those people, even though they are stepping on stage for the first time, they haven't just got in a gym last year. Do you know what I mean? They've got the foundation of muscle there. For 90% of first timers, the issue more often than not is not having enough muscle. And I think that my biggest bit of advice for you guys is to stop jumping straight into a prep when you decide that you want to compete. Like that, as a coach, the clients that have less of a problem in that sense are the ones that sign up with me at least a year before they want to get on stage. They go through the pull it down, see how much muscle you've got, build, pull it down again, build. So you know how much muscle that person is working with before they prep. So then when they get on stage, there is no I don't know how much muscle I had because you know how much muscle they were going up there with. It just depends whether or not it's enough to be competitive on the day. I think the people that get surprised are the ones that go, I'm 20 weeks out from the show I want to do and I want you to prep me. Because they're the people that jump in and with no idea of what muscle that they've got underneath. And then they're shocked when they get to show day that they didn't have enough. So my best bit of advice would be invest the time up front to fully understand what you're working with before jumping into a prep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the biggest thing because even if you've gone through that phase of building, cut and building and everything beforehand, you have a rough idea. And then you just got to remember this is a genetic based subjective sport. So if you can then look back and be like, it's not as much muscle as I wanted, but think how much less you would have had if you hadn't have done all that in the first
Yes.
place. And
Mhm.
even us as seasoned competitors, we would go down and be like I've been doing this years and I can go like I lean down and go, need more glutes. So like
Yeah. We
like
wouldn't still be doing it 8 years later if it was something you could
we
just
were
teach
there.
in a year.
So I do think it's like it's not nice, but it's a good thing because you go, okay, now this is my baseline. How can I come back better? That should be the driving force because you got two mindsets, and this is what make or breaks people in the competing world is if you're not where you need to be or you don't get the results you want, and you go, oh, it's not for me because you don't want to do the work or it's going to take time. But ultimately, like that time's passing anyway. So how do you envision yourself in 5 years if you just stopped? Because you might
Yeah.
not be getting any more muscle doing it that way. But if you go, okay, well, this is the process of it all, and this is where I'm going to do the work anyway, it takes 2 years, it takes 5 years, it takes like it's the longevity of that, isn't it? So yeah, it's obviously not nice, especially when we know we've worked for it, but it's quite harsh as well.
Yeah. I think like it's really important to see your gaps as an opportunity rather than a failure. And I think that this is where a lot of first timers go wrong is like, let's say, for example, your gap is that you just need more muscle all over. Instead of being disheartened by the fact that you haven't got enough muscle, you see it as an opportunity to go away, improve, and come back better and present that. It's like Georgia said, it's a mindset shift. You can either see it on the negative or the positive side of it. And I think that the best bodybuilders are the ones that go, You want more glute? Okay, cool. I'm going to give that to you rather than, oh my God, I've been working on my glutes for 2 years and they
I
told
give
me I
up.
needed more.
They're never
So,
gonna
yeah,
grow.
I'm not doing that again. No,
I
like
did
it's
that. I wouldn't have the glutes I've got now, and I still want more.
exactly that. So yeah, I think, yeah, we both agree that investing more time up front before you jump on stage so you know exactly what you're dealing with, but also just not taking it to heart if you don't have enough muscle. I think if you can expect that you're going to need more, then it will be less of a shock when you get told you need more, because we all get told that.
Yeah.
Even 8 years in, I'm still getting told that I need bigger, more rounded glutes. I'm like, I'm trying, but I'll do better. And then the last part of the question was weight being stubborn even when ticking all the boxes.
Well, that's not what I'm going to say is if to me, again, we don't know the ins and outs. To me, when someone's like ticking all the boxes, I'm doing my cardio, I'm weight training, I'm, you know, doing this, doing that, what I would then be assessing is do we need to back off? Is there a big inflammation? Is cortisol high? Depending on your current body fat and your lifestyle, is it a refeed to freshen up? Is it a mini deload to freshen up? Like we always think, especially as women, more is better because we're like, I can do this, I can do this. We're like bloody troopers in a prep.
Yeah.
But sometimes it seems so backwards, but because we're doing so much, and again, especially as females, we tend to be like, a cardio is high, expenditure is high, food is low. So our body is just stressed. So without knowing a lot, just off the surface, I would then normally be like, when's the last time you thought about cortisol? When's the last time you
Yeah.
had like a back off, just pulled off expenditure? Well, I think as well, people sometimes get worried about like the refeed element. So again, depending on where you are in your journey, your physique, everything, just sometimes having a few days, solid days off training, extra hours sleep. If you're in like the depths of prep anyway, your calories will be enough to put you in a deficit. So don't change that. And that's enough to wash off fatigue. For some people, refeed, freshen up if they need the energy. But if it's generally like your whole information, I would normally just say, have you thought about taking a step back? Cortisol?
No, 100%. I think that people stay so blinkered on focusing about losing fat and what they need to do to lose fat, but you're forgetting at the same time that a lot of what you put your body through to lose that body fat is actually a stress on the body, and with stress comes water retention. So it's a constant battle of pushing for fat loss whilst also managing fatigue and stress. Um, so sometimes the fatigue and stress builds up so much that it surpasses any fat loss result that you're going to see. And that needs to be addressed before you can really see what the fat loss results are that's happening underneath. And water retention will accumulate way quicker than body fat will drop off or accumulate. So it is about understanding when the right time is to pull back as well as push on. And I agree with you, if you've even tried that and things still aren't working, then you've got things like blood testing to
Yeah.
just make sure that there's nothing going on underneath the surface that is causing a bigger issue that a deload or pushing harder isn't gonna fix.
Especially if, like, if you're natural or you've been in a deficit for a long time, thyroid, if that's
Yeah.
gone to shit, you're really going to struggle. So, like, if that thyroid's not working and functioning properly and doing what it needs to do, so yeah, so there's like other variables. So start on the surfacey, easy fixes, and then if that's not working, where what some girls do, they're just pushing and pushing, and no matter what they back off or feed or whatever, like sometimes it's just your body has just gone like no, and hopefully that's not the case. You don't know your background, don't know your starting point, don't know how much fat you had to lose, where you are now. But unfortunately that is the case, like with some people where you just push and push and push and push and your body's just like I'm done, the stress is high, doesn't want to work, thyroid, everything. So but yeah, start off just the surface, like how stressed are you and how much can you back off with
And
stuff.
also just make sure that you're not out eating your calorie deficit with veg.
Oh my God, yeah. Still be aware,
I know we spoke about
unless
that
you're
before,
eating
but
ice, it has calories. Um, so what's your favorite thing about bodybuilding?
the the structure that it gives to ensure your own personal development.
I was literally going to say, I wasn't going to say it like that, but literally along the same lines.
Yeah, like for me, and regardless of how my competitive future looks, do you know what I mean? Because like no spring chicken anymore, right? There will be a point where it comes to an end. Bodybuilding gives me a framework of things I need to do to keep making myself better. And the thing I love about it most, or I always say this, the thing that it gave to me that I'll always treasure is learning how to put myself first unapologetically. Um, and so I think that those are probably the two key things that I love about bodybuilding is it taught me how to invest in myself without feeling guilty about it and understanding that I can do that. And it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person for putting my needs and my wants and my priorities first. But like I say, the big thing for me is the framework for self-improvement. And obviously, when you initially start it, it's all about improving your body, but it's taught me so much mentally, building resilience, tenacity, proving to myself that I'm capable of so much more than I think that or thought that I was. Um, before proving myself wrong. Do you know that there's so much to improve in the process if you see it as a framework for improvement rather than something to get you from A to B.
Yeah, definitely. And I didn't learn that. So if you're a first timer, I didn't learn that until after I got on stage and I reflected because I didn't really know what I was doing in my first prep. I just was like, I just fancy doing this and this is what we did. But afterwards, I thought, holy shit, I was like, I was vet nursing at the time. So I was dealing with night shifts, weekend shifts, day shifts, doing my cardio, doing something I've never done before. And I was always the one that ate all the bloody biscuits at work to be able to be like I can take control of my life. I've got this goal and I know I need to structure my time. I need to I was doing exams at the time as well. Structure revision, don't eat all the cakes, eat my meal plan, look after the animals, tick all my boxes with cardio, like doing everything. And you genuinely have I don't believe the whole we all have 24 hours in a day because we do, but everyone has different
Yeah,
responsibilities, but you have control of those responsibilities
agree.
to dictate your life. So just because someone's training 5 days a week and you've got 24 hours, no, you might only be able to do 3 days a week, but do those 3 days a week properly and do everything outside of the gym properly with the right mindset, and you can absolutely still see so much growth because it's about you going, I've got control of my thoughts and actions, which I put back into me. So that's what I grew the most from is yes, we can't always control the circumstances, but we can control what we're going to do about those circumstances. And that's what helped me again, yeah, grow, control my structure. And I didn't even know how much I thrived off routine. COVID, I was loving life because there was no externals. So I was
Yeah,
literally thriving in COVID because I was like, I still got up the same time every day. I was putting my pre-workout in a bloody, I don't think I've ever used the wine glasses in my life. And I was putting my pre-workout with lemonade in my wine glass. I had my routine it's Groundhog Day over and over and over again. And I love my routine. I actually get a little bit like angry if my routine's gone to shit. But I'm fine if I have enough notice, so then I can recreate and redivert a new plan. So I love the routine, I love the structure, and I love knowing that I'm in control of a lot of things rather
yeah,
than letting things control me. So it's that mindset growth more than anything.
yeah, I agree. How many more have you got?
I got one more.
I've got one more. So
Okay,
we
go
can
ahead.
cover them.
Yep.
Okay, so last one. How do you find navigating relationships in bodybuilding? How do you ensure that you have a relationship that you have more in common with the other person beyond the gym? Now, I'll keep this really brief. I've not been in a committed relationship in the whole time that I've done bodybuilding. Now, that's not to say that I haven't dated people or seen people or anything like that, but um, it's hard for me to give a practical answer on this because I don't have the experience of it. But I think One thing I will say for having been single through it is a lot of that has probably been my own doing in a sense of where I've been in prep. And obviously, I've prepped more years than I haven't when it comes to my time that I've been in bodybuilding. I appreciate that both of those things can have an impact on each other. So unless you've got a solidified relationship in place before you start a prep, chances are high that prep is going to impact your relationship, or your relationship is going to affect your ability to be able to completely commit to your prep. And I always say that I think that prep has probably seemed largely simple to me because I've only had myself to think about. And it's much easier when you haven't got partners or kids or anything like that in the mix because I don't have to think about anyone other than me. Um, though I will say I'd love to meet someone and I haven't been adverse to doing it. It's just that opportunity hasn't presented itself at a time that's been right for me to explore that. But I do think that it takes a very particular kind of person to uh on both sides, because bodybuilding can be largely selfish, and I know you'll be able to give it from the other perspective because you're married and with a bodybuilder, but like from my perspective, I think that we as bodybuilders very much push the narrative out there. Oh, I can only date someone that gets the sport and this, that, and the other. And it's like, but we have an obligation as the second person in that partnership to be understanding of the other person's wants and needs in a relationship. And if you can't fulfill each other's wants and needs together, then it's, in my opinion, best not to have it. So I think it probably takes a lot of investment on both sides to really understand each other's wants and needs and really feel committed to wanting to deliver that for each other whilst working on your own things as well. Um, Otherwise, I just don't think it's fair to kind of expect one side to completely fold for the
Yeah.
other. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think obviously I can actually speak on both parts when it comes to relationship because obviously me and Matt are both in it. So I think everything comes with pros and cons, and whoever you're with, whether they're in it or not in it, whatever, the biggest thing with being in a relationship, from seeing it from clients, from everything else, the people that succeed, whether your partner is in it or not, are the people that genuinely want to see each other win. They don't care if they're in it or not. So me and Matt, I want to support him as much. We have done preps together. We have done preps separately. We have supported each other. I've carried 90% some days. He's carried 90%. And the biggest thing is we talk. Like if I
Yeah.
don't have a lot to give and like his breathing is going to piss me off that day, I'll be like, I'm really sorry. I am ratty today. It has nothing to do with you, and be distant. If he is just absolutely fatigued, he is quiet, he'll just be like, and the first thing we'll say to each other is we'll explain that it's not you, it's prep. And always the second person will be like, what can I do for you today? If you're feeling like
Agree.
that, what can I do for you? Can I help you with, do you want me to drive you to the gym today so you don't have to drive back? Can I make you a meal? Like whatever it is. So we'll think about things like that because we've communicated. And then on the flip side, I've got like my sister who's with Will, and I fucking love their relationship because he has zero interest in competing. He's just started running, which I love. But before that, didn't care. Not in like just because he didn't need to. He's in good shape. He could eat what he wanted. Such a secure human in himself that he has no issues with Jess going after it because he also met Jess when she was before she even started this journey. So when she was like bigger. So he is literally like supported her through it. He will drive her to shows. He will be the person. I've said this before. If you could give him a foam finger, he would be the person in the audience with a foam figure. He is
Oh.
shouting, "That's my wife." Like he is her biggest fan, and he has no interest in bodybuilding because he genuinely loves her and wants to see her win. And then to
Yeah.
her on the flip side, now he's started the running or whatever, she'll support him with that however she can. Like he's got into protein now. So she's like giving him protein to try. Like,
Relationship, isn't
yeah,
it?
it's
Like,
communicating and like having that understanding. And obviously for him, the first time she did a prep, he's not been around that before. So it was a little bit like, Jess, you just need to tell him how you feel. Like if she was feeling snappy or whatever, and she would communicate. And it's harder maybe if like they haven't gone for it, but because he truly loves her, he wants her to see her win. And because he's done a few preps with her now, he gets why she does it and he will support her. So it would even be things like when she's on prep, she'll think about like if she has off plan, then it'll be a Nando's. So she caters to him so he can eat what he wants. She doesn't ever go, oh, I wish I could have that. She'll literally get a chicken salad or something. So it's
Yeah.
that give and take. But I've seen it before where sometimes the partners resent the other person on either side. Like they're so locked in prep, they're like, and you'd suggest just go do a date day, go for a different walk, have a coffee, and they're like, can't do that, my schedule doesn't allow it. And you're like, well, you're not giving back to your partner, so your partner will now resent your prep, and then vice
Yeah.
versa. Your partner doesn't understand you, so you resent. So just communication. That's it.
I always say this to my clients, right? I'm like, and this goes for all kinds of relationships, but especially the romantic ones. It's like, if you want to carry on doing this bodybuilding thing, you've got to include them in it.
Mm.
So that means using your words to explain to them what you are going through, what you are feeling, and why that's the way it is. You can't just express on them and then go, it's because I'm in prep. Because at the end of the day, you have chosen to prep. Nobody else has. So I'm a big believer in this when it comes to bodybuilding. If you can't handle your emotions and you just think that prep is an excuse to act like a brat and take your feelings out on people, you shouldn't fucking do it. Right? Because nobody deserves your bad moods because of something that you're choosing to do to yourself. But if you want people to support you and be there for you, be prepared to answer their questions, be prepared to educate them, be
Yes.
prepared to involve them in what it is that you're doing, because people that understand it better are going to be able to support you better. Whereas people that just see you going all the time, they're not going to want to be around
You've
that. And
got
they're
that.
also not going to want you to carry on doing it either. Every time you prep, they're going to be like, oh no, not this again. Like,
Yeah. And if you've got that outlet, like, you don't understand, I'm in prep. Prep's so hard, blah, blah, blah. I can't eat that because I'm in prep. I'm doing this. If you're angry about things, like, oh my God, no one's going to want to be around you. No one's forcing you. Like, I get it, we have hard days, but when you learn that you are doing this for the growth and not to suffer, like, have the right people around you, give back to them as well. And also give back to them more so, not immediately post show, because you obviously you want to,
yeah.
but like, know that when you're in your off season, protect your circle because then they'll be more willing to support you like that give and take. But yeah. And
Yeah.
then final question is if we weren't, it was something like I was just literally looking it up. If you weren't a coach, what job would you be doing?
I just probably want to work with animals. I just like animals. I used to be a horse riding instructor back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I always say that if I got the same money for doing that that I get now, I would do that every day.
I don't.
But
So,
like, I love animals, or I would love to work because I did my work experience with like the RAF gun squad dogs.
oh yeah, that'd be
It
cool.
was so cool. So yeah, I'd probably want to do something with animals.
So, yeah, I've done all the horses. I did like the horse riding instructor. I was a groom for a show jumper. I used to break in the mall and ponies. I'd probably do the mall and ponies again just because I was left to my own devices and we used to just buy ponies really cheap to save them going for like me.
Showing is bodybuilding for horses. So
Yeah,
that it doesn't surprise me because that's what I
uh,
used to do with working hunters and M&M ponies.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I did all of that, but like obviously I was vet nursing before and I loved that until COVID hit and then it fucking destroyed things. So I did love because I was exclusively a vet nurse in Cornwall for Nuki for the zoo as well.
Yeah,
So we had the
that's
dog and cat,
cool.
but we had all the zoo animals and the aquarium animals. So like cesareans on a monkey and like fucking capybara castrates, like it was fucking wild. So I loved that because we had everything in, and because I had Harry with me, he could always come with me. So that
Yeah.
was nice. Otherwise, I think maybe like a dog groomer or something, just because I fucking love dogs. They just
I
make me
just like
happy.
animal. If I mean animals is so cliche. So if it wasn't animal related, what I wanted to do like when I was in school was I wanted to be an interpreter because I love
Really?
languages. Yeah. So like I think that if I was going to go into something that wasn't animal related, I'd love to pick up languages again and do something with that.
Oh yeah. No, I don't know if I could do anything else. Animals are my special eating contest.
I'll be with you on that
I'll
one.
get
I
so
think we'd
fat.
both be amazing at
It
that.
would be completely opposite to my goal. Yeah, I don't think I'd do much else. I've interestingly started doing my own makeup for show seasons, which if you looked at me back in the day, like my older sister had to pin me down just to try and pluck my random curved eyebrows for my 50th ball because I was not into makeup. But after doing my makeup a few times for my own show, and then obviously I've done it a few times for my sister, who's really low maintenance. She's just happy. I think that I don't like the pressure. But I feel
Yeah.
like I would like to get into that because I feel I just quite enjoy that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but mainly dogs.
Yeah, I'm with you that. I think dogs or horses for me.
Dogs or horses. Yeah.
Dogs or horses.
Right. That's everything. That's all the questions.
We
You
made it.
three listeners kept us going.
No, there were some good questions, to be fair. Thank you for not
Right.
letting us down. We
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Well done. We put that on for you guys. So we will be back next week with the two bros.
And
Like
then
Luke,
it's PCA Wales, isn't it?
then it's PCA Wales. So well, I know we won't be at the Two Bro show, but anyone that's at the PTA Wales show, do drop us a message because we'll be able to see you there. But
Indeed.
thank you for tuning in. I think this has actually been a long episode. So
It
we'll cut off
has.
there and we will see you in the next one.
Like, subscribe, all that.
All that jazz. Bye.